Thank you. First up, I move to elect Senator Brian Rose, Secretary of the Committee. Okay, and additionally, I move to adopt a quorum of 4 as a majority of the committee as sufficient quorum to proceed with business. And I move that we adopt the rules of the Senate as the committee rules of procedure, with the exception that a motion to reconsider may be disposed of on the same day it is entered.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Any conversation on the motions before us? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. So that's the formality of the business. Just a couple other things I'd like to do. As I mentioned a moment ago, I think we may have the most youthful committee in the chamber. We have 3 true freshmen here and some of us that aren't far removed from that. And I think that if it's by design or not, I think it's appropriate because it's the technology committee. If you don't mind, I'd like everyone to go around, each of the senators, maybe introduce yourself, what you represent, and then the staff as we go around as well, just so we kind of put names and faces together. We'll just start with you, Senator Rhodes, if you're okay.
Robin Robinson. I represent Jones County, part of Wayne County, part of Greene County, and part of Forest County. And I'm glad to be here.
Gary Brumfield. I represent Pike, Walthall, Wilkerson, Amet, and Adams. And I am also grateful to be here.
I'm Ellie. I'm a staff attorney. I'm ready to.
Like I said, already, I'm Bart Williams. I get the opportunity to represent Oktibbeha Hall, Choctaw, Webster, and Montgomery counties. And I'd be amiss if I did not say Hale State.
Bradford Blackman. I represent District 21, which is all of Holmes County, parts of Madison County, parts of Atala, and parts of Leake County.
And I represent the coast. All of it. All of it. Harrison County specifically, but all of it.
Jeff Tate, Senator Jeff Tate is not here. He is in public. Senator Hobbs committee down there now, so he is our 7th member. A couple other things. One, I would like to acknowledge Senator Delano, who was the chair last time. Pretty big shoes to follow here, but I appreciate his willingness to stay on the committee and work with us, and I'll be looking at his leadership and experience as we go forward. And everybody, don't hesitate to ask because he's much more tenured in this than I am, but I think we're all quick studies. Addressing Zoom, if you know, we're kind of looking at the mics. We're in this room, everybody can hear each other. It's really not for us. Our meetings will probably be in a smaller room. If you're in 216, it's big and everything, but we will have, depending upon what subject matter we may or may not be looking at, we may have dozens or hundreds of people looking in. We do broadcast all our meetings, our hearings, very open and transparent we try to be. So when you're talking, if you're looking at the microphone, these are new microphones, which I promise you, if you weren't here, I'm very excited about this. Noah, thank you. And we'll kind of learn our way. I'm leaning in. We may be able to stay back as we do a few meetings with that. I'd given everybody on the committee, and I just want to briefly read, what do we do in technology? It's kind of broad. I mean, things that are in that space that come to us. As I mentioned, kind of concluded, as I see it, we've got 40 some odd committees in the Senate. There are 2 of them that touch everything in state government, appropriations and technology. So the breadth of what we touch can potentially be, universal throughout our state government and our people in the state. Purpose of the Mississippi State Senate Technology Committee, cybersecurity. That's on everybody's mind. We've got a lot of things moving on a lot of different fronts from the state level all the way down to the local level. This committee very likely will be looking at legislation or ways to come alongside our partners and try to be part of that, whether it's from a monetization standpoint or if it's from a regulatory standpoint where that's needed. Broadband access. We all know what's going on with there. We've got Beam across the street. A lot of fiber being done in our state. There again, we'll play a role in that at some level or another. Education and workforce development goes without saying. Kind of vertical, it goes across a lot of metrics and where we're needed. Legislatively speaking, I think this committee will be a destination for that type of legislation or policy making. Innovation and economic development. Obviously, where technology pushes that, we do that. I think we'll see more and more things come. The economic development project we're going to meet on tomorrow. I mean, it has to do with that and others that are probably coming as well. Privacy and consumer protection, very important. Government doesn't need to be where it shouldn't be. And with the data privacy and a lot of things that are out there now circulating, we'll see this stuff come across our committee that we've got to deal with. And emerging technologies. technology sector moves at the speed of light almost. Agriculture, forestry are great, important things to our state, but they're kind of static and behemoths and established. Technology things, I mentioned the word artificial intelligence. Everybody knows what I mean. We will be looking at that in a big way, in a small way, over time this session or not. Can't answer those questions, but this committee, I think, exists to look at those and see where we need to create policy and where we need to come alongside these emerging technologies. We don't want to impede industry by any means. We want to complement them. At the same time, our first and foremost, as a legislator, I think our first priority is public safety. Whatever mechanisms we need to put in place to do that, we need to look at and try to formulate policy to do that. With that being said, I'll be glad to go in detail, and we'll just kind of go down this together. Like I say, a lot of us are very new to this committee, so we'll work together. We didn't get all y'all, did we? Yes, I'm sorry. Come on. First mistake. Check.
Guess I'm going first. I'm Ethan Samsel. I'm an attorney downstairs in the Legislative Service Office.
My name is Shelby Britt. I am the Technology Committee Assistant, and I'm in 213.
Zoe Massengill with Lieutenant Governor Hoosman's office.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it very much. One last business, and we will get out of here. Next Wednesday, the committee and anyone in here, staff is invited to join us at 2 p.m. We're going to go over to the ITS building. It's right off of Lakeland Drive, and we're going to do a tour of the data center there. We've got a state-of-the-art data center. I'm sure Senator Delano's been in many. I've been quite a few. If you haven't, it's quite an experience. And we've got just a premier data center, and we're going to do a tour of that in ITS to try to get maybe a little bit of an idea visually of how the ITS department in the state runs. I know I did that early on, and it kind of helped me with my perspective. Does anybody have anything to add? It's Wednesday at 2 p.m. Did I already address what that at? Did I change that? Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, let's talk about the Zoom. I got on the microphone, and that's why we talk on the microphone, so people out there. From a voting perspective, the way Zoom works, if a member of the committee is not here and you're on Zoom, you cannot be counted present, you cannot vote. If you were to physically come in and check in the Capitol and you get on, you'll be counted present on the Zoom later when we have a meeting or hearing. You can be counted present, but you cannot vote. We have to be present to vote. Say that right, everybody? I think I did. Well, if that is all, I'll entertain a motion. How's the report? Rise and report. All in favor? Dismissed.